Hello everybody, we are back here on the Hunter Call of the Wild, and today we're going to be using what I consider to be the worst gun in the game, and that is the Mangiafico 410/45 Colt revolver. Overall, this gun's just not very useful, and I'm going to show you guys why I think this is probably one of the worst guns, and we're also going to see if we can get some kills with it. Now, obviously I can't go for anything big like bison or elk or mule deer because this gun only goes to class 5, and you guys will see why very soon. Now, the first thing about this handgun is I would never trust this thing at 100 meters. It really doesn't have that great of penetration, so you have to be pretty much perfectly broadside in order to even do any damage whatsoever. And it only zeroes up to 75 meters, so you probably won't want to be taking any shots longer than that anyways. So we're going to try and get to 75 and then see if we can get this guy down. We actually have one that's a little bit closer, so I guess we'll take this guy first then, because he'll be a lot easier to take down with this gun. Now, one thing I will give this gun is they did a really good job on the way it looks. Like, it's a very nice looking handgun, but it's just not very practical or efficient. Even the 410 shells that it shoots alongside the 45 Colt aren't super great. It's by far the weakest shotgun, which is to be expected, considering 410 is a relatively low caliber. I really hope that eventually they introduce a 410 caliber shotgun instead of a shotgun pistol, because I feel like that would be more efficient and effective with the longer barrel. But anyway, we're at 75 now, so let's take the first shot on one of these Pronghorn. Now, it only comes with one ammo type, and it doesn't have super great penetration, so I'm not sure how this will perform. Hopefully it can at least get one lung. But I don't know how it's going to perform, and that's a pretty nice 4, so we'll probably go for that next. Well, that's definitely vital blood, as you can see, so it did manage to get a lung, but the question is, how far did it get into that lung? Now, for this guy right here, I think we'll try a little bit longer range than what this is meant to be shot at, so forgive me if I don't know the exact aiming point, but we'll try something like this. Let's try to get him to look at us again. Perfect. Just get him to stop, and that looked perfect. He's not losing health. Oh, now he is. Alright, so yeah, it just kills really slow, but it looks like you can get to a lung at that range, so that's good to know. You know, a lot of people consider the 357 to be a pretty weak gun and one of the worst in the game, but in my opinion, this gun just, it tops the 357 when it comes to just not a good gun. I feel like the 357 at least has somewhat of a decent amount of power with it, but there's just something about the 45 Colt that just doesn't seem that great. And I'm actually not sure where this first Pronghorn ran off to. We're gonna have to try and find that. Oh, here it is. Alright, well, we found the first one that we killed. Let's get a look at the penetration on this. I'm honestly still kind of surprised that the level 4 went down. So, okay, so it does have enough penetration on a Pronghorn, so that's really good to know. That's actually a little better than I thought it would do. You know, maybe this is going to be one of those videos where I get proven wrong and... Oh, that's a turkey. Quickly, get the 410. Yep, there's no way we're getting that turkey. I guess that is one of the positives to this gun, though, is it is a combination of guns, so you can get both calibers, the 410 and the 45 Colt, so I guess that is the one upside to it. If you're looking to save space, it could be a good one to use, I guess, but its range and stuff like that and the penetration and its limited classes being only to take classes 2 to 5 with the 45 Colt and then class 1 with the 410, it kind of holds it back. Now, depending on what the penetration looks like on this level 4, this could determine whether or not I maybe try to do a little more extensive testing with this gun, because if it has enough penetration to double lung at that range on a Pronghorn, then maybe this gun's a little better than I thought, but we'll see. So this guy ran quite a ways, actually. I doubt it hit both lungs. This had to have been a single lung, and this is probably where we'll see some of the drop-off. Yeah, it was just a single lung, so we did hit right scapula, though, so maybe I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but you can already see that at farther ranges, it doesn't have quite as much penetration, and it takes it quite a bit to take it down, and that was only at 110 meters. So for the most part, my biggest complaint with the 45 Colt is just that for a handgun, it's very weak. There's pretty much all the other handguns that will do better and be able to take the same, if not more, different classes. Obviously, for class 4 and above, the 454 is absolutely insane. And for the lower class animals, the 357 and the 44 Magnum can be used, so I just feel like those are better options for those particular species ranges. Now, I do want to test it out on some other things like mountain goats, so we'll probably try to do that also, but I figured we'd start with the pronghorn since they're a little bit weaker animal and they're kind of a lot easier to kill for the most part. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see if we can hit this shot. I want to see how far away it is. I don't think it's too far. Yeah, we're at 96, so we should be able to hit this. That should be good. Yep, he's going to go down. So that was at about 100 meters. We'll see if it managed to hit both lungs at 100, because at 110 it couldn't. But it looks like at 100 it might have been able to, because that did go down quicker than the level 4 did. So maybe 100 meters is going to be that sweet spot for the longest shot that you can probably take with it. Also, before we get too far into the video, just wanted to say that there's a small chance that I might not be able to post every day within the next week. For those of you that have been kind of like watching the live streams and following my situation right now, I am moving currently, and we've been trying to find a place to move into, and we're getting close to the end of the month, which is basically how long we had to find a place before we pretty much just have to stay where we are currently. Basically what happened is we've been having issues with our neighbor where we unfortunately got placed next to a neighbor that just complains about everything. No matter whether or not we're in the wrong or not, she complains regardless. So the management of the apartments that we currently live at have told us that if we want to break lease, they won't charge us like the extra fees and stuff. So we've been trying to find a place, and we're coming close to the deadline, so depending on whether or not we actually find another place before then, the videos might slow down, but I'm going to try and get a few of them ready in advance just in case that happens, but I think we should be good. But anyway, let's go ahead and check this out, and yeah, that was double lungs. So, ooh, barely though. So it looks like 100 meters is probably the farthest you'll want to be away when it comes to pronghorn. So, that's good to know. Alright, so here is our first mountain goat that we'll test this on. See if we can get an idea of what it can do. This guy is fleeing though, so it might be hard to get him to stay still, but once he does, we'll take the shot. And, that's interesting. There we go. So, we definitely hit a lung. I don't know if it was double lung though. I'm pretty sure that looks like it was a single lung. So, mountain goat might be a little bit too tough for the 45 Colt for it to be at least somewhat efficient, sadly, but I guess we'll see. It could be that we hit a bit high and got vertebrae. Here is the mountain goat, and it does look like it was vital blood, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. And yeah, it's just a single lung, so at 66 meters, it doesn't have enough to penetrate to the second lung on these guys, it looks like, unless we're just a little too far back. I guess that's very possible, but just based on the depth that it's into this goat, it doesn't seem like you can reliably get double lung. We'll have to test it out a little bit more, but so far it's not looking too great on the mountain goats. Alright guys, so I had to leave for a couple hours, but we are back now, so now I can continue testing out this 45 Colt on some of these mountain goats. These guys are the only ones that I'm seeing around this lake at the moment. Normally there's more, so maybe we'll get some more here eventually, and actually there's a pretty good size level 4 along with a turkey and another turkey. I still want to try the bird shot on one of the turkeys. I think that would be cool, but I also want to take down one of these bighorn sheep because we haven't tried the 45 on them yet, so we'll probably do that next. Let's see if we can get close enough to take out one of these goats though, because I do want to test the 45 out at a different range on goats, since That other one was pretty close, and it was kind of at a weird angle. Maybe we can get double lung if we get a perfect broadside shot. Oh my gosh. Can I shoot this with it? I think I can. We can. Well, that's not what we were gonna target, but that's kind of cool. So I guess we're gonna try and take out this level 9 mountain lion instead. I was gonna take out those goats and maybe a bighorn sheep, but that is obviously better, and it'll probably be a troll knowing my luck, but we will see. We will see if we can get this guy down and see if it'll be a diamond. Alright, so we're at 150 meters roughly. We're going to want to get to about half of that, so roughly 75 would be ideal. Considering this gun only zeros to 75, I don't really want to be further than that, especially on something like a mountain lion, which is on the higher of the classes for this gun. This is a class 5 animal, and the 45 Colt goes classes 2 to 5, so this is going to be pushing it size-wise, but I think we'll be able to do it. We just got to sneak up there and get a good angle and hope this wind doesn't shift to the left anymore. Alright, so we're getting pretty close now. We should almost be in view of this guy. He should be roughly 54 meters, as you can see by the marker. I put the marker right on top of him, so it should be pretty accurate. Hopefully he's not closer than what I'm expecting. That would be kind of unfortunate, but he should be at about 50. So let's see if we can see this guy. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so he's nervous though. Okay, I think we can do this. You know, let's try to do it without the scope. I think that'll be a little more interesting. We might even try to sneak up closer than what we currently are. I think this could be a pretty awesome kill if we can get him without the scope. I think that'd be awesome. I don't think I've ever got a kill with a handgun and no scope. So this will be a first. This will be the first ever diamond with a handgun without a scope. Let's try to get him. Okay, he's alerted now. That's what we wanted. Let's 0 to 25. Try to get him spotted. What did he run for? That's a little strange. We were prone. I wouldn't think he would have spooked off. Alright then, that's a little weird. I guess we're gonna have to wait for him to calm down then. That's pretty unfortunate. I wanted to do the close range iron sights, but looks like that's not going to work out, sadly. He's going away from us now. Maybe we can get him to calm down. Alright then, this guy's... he's doing something. I don't know what it is, though. I really don't know what to do with this mountain lion. He's acting really strange. I mean, most of them do, but this guy's acting extra strange. The more I think about it, I probably should have shot him when he was still laying down, but I didn't want to take the risk of his organs being bunched up and maybe missing a vital shot. That would not have been good, so it's probably better this way, but I just wish we could have got him at close range with the iron sights. Oh, there he is. Okay, so he's right there. He's still nervous. We could maybe do this right here. How far is he? He's 58 right now. If we can get him to just chill, then we could maybe take this. I think we got him. That should be good. Yep, that's good. All right, perfect. That was interesting for sure. Definitely not the way I visioned getting a diamond with this handgun, but I'll take it, even if it was kind of a buggy mountain lion. Still cool. Hopefully this guy's actually a diamond and not a troll like 90% of these guys are. Because I'm pretty sure out of the last 7 or 8 level 9 mountain lions, we've only had like 3 diamonds. So, the odds aren't very good for this guy, but let's see. It is a diamond. 39.10, so it's a little bit over. It is still on the smaller end, but Not too bad. I'll take that. We don't really have a place for him in our main lodge, so once again, this guy's just going to go in a secondary lodge, but still pretty cool. I never expected to find a diamond along this trip. I was just planning on testing out the handguns on random species like the mountain goats, the bighorn, and the pronghorn, but we had ourselves a diamond mountain lion here. But now that he's gone, and this guy didn't spook, I think it's time to maybe try a longer range shot on a mountain goat, because I still want to do some testing with the 45 Colts. We didn't get to do too much, honestly, before we ended up finding that mountain lion, so I do want to get some more testing done and maybe see how viable the 45 is on mountain goats, because on that first one, it really seemed like it didn't have very good penetration on them. But we're going to have to see how it is with this guy. This guy's a bit more broadside, so maybe it'll be better. Let's see if we can hit this from 150 meters. I think we're going to need to aim about, like, right here. Might have been low. No, it was lungs. Probably a single lung by the looks of it. But either way, it's a decent sized mountain goat down, and there we go. Cut that one with the bird shot. So we got to test the bird shot on a turkey now too. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's that strong, sadly. Seems to deal about the same damage as a 22, maybe even less. Given we were a decent distance away from it, but still. Little unfortunate. I expected more out of a 410. There's that little turkey. Got 12 hits on the first shot, and that did 92% of the damage, and then 4 hits on the second one, and that only hit flesh. So not the best on turkeys. I have used it on ducks before, and it does seem to be better on ducks, which, I mean, that's to be expected. The duck species are a lot smaller. Turkeys are one of the bigger birds in the game. I am curious to see what it'll be like on geese, though. Let me know if you guys actually want to see me take the 410s out for some geese in a future video. I think that could be interesting. Alright, so here's that mountain goat. It ran quite a ways, actually, but that is a good-sized mountain goat, especially for level 4. 101.40, not too bad, and it did get double lungs. Wow. 155 meters, and it actually hit double lungs. I'm pretty surprised, to be honest. Okay, 45, maybe you're a little bit better than I initially thought. We might have to do some more extensive tests on it in future videos, because it does seem to be a little more reliable than I remember it. And I'm starting to think that maybe those single lung hits we were getting were maybe because we hit the shoulder blade or something to kind of slow the bullet down. Because the second pronghorn that we killed, the level 4, it only got single lung, and I'm pretty sure we hit shoulder blade on that, so maybe that has an effect. It would make sense if it did have an effect, because that's the way it is with a lot of other calibers in the game, is a lot of times the shoulder blade will kind of slow the bullet down and make it so it can only penetrate a single lung. So I'm assuming it's probably the same for the 45, especially since it is, I believe, a flat nose or a soft point bullet. Yeah, flat nose hard case bullet, or hard cast bullet. So yeah, I guess that would make sense. Alright, so I don't want this video to end up being too long, so I think we're going to end it off with trying to take down something that this gun is not meant to take down, and that being this Rocky Mountain elk right here. Let's see how it handles something that's way too big for it. Alright, so we actually got pretty close without them going attentive, which is not really normal for the elk. Kind of surprised that I was able to get this close, but anyway, I think we just barely... Of course. Of course he turns towards me when I actually need to take him out. Let's just take her then. She's going to be much easier. That should be good. It's going to be hard to tell, though, since this is a pretty low caliber. It's going to die slow regardless of if we hit a lung or not. So we're just going to have to go up there and see if it even had the penetration to get into the lungs. And it looks like it did. Pretty impressive. I mean, you don't get full harvest checks for using the 45, but at least you know it can reach the lungs in an elk, which is something I didn't really expect it to be able to do. So I guess that's kind of cool. Now the real test here will be, did it get single or double lung? If it got double lungs, I'm gonna be pretty impressed with it, honestly. Alright, here's that elk. It's time for the moment of truth. Is this a single or a double lung? Okay, so it's just a single, and that also got liver and stomach, and it still died that slow. Wow, 250 meter tracking distance. So it ran 250 meters from where we shot it. And that was from 110 meters away, but I mean, it still had decent penetration. It got into that single lung quite a ways. So I mean, it's alright. Obviously, you wouldn't want to be using this on an elk because it doesn't give you the full harvest checks, but at least you guys now know that it can reach the lung of a Rocky Mountain elk. Alright guys, so that mountain lion was a 39.13, so just barely over the 39.1 mark. But there it is. Obviously not really anything different from any other mountain lion, so it's not going to look any different here, but figured we'd still come into the lodge and show it off. So there it is. A diamond mountain lion taken with the 45 Colt. Still very impressed with the fact that it's actually able to penetrate these larger animals and still get decent penetration. Never really expected that, especially with how terrible I remember the gun being. But maybe it's not half bad. It's still not great, but at least you know that it can do the trick if you get caught in a situation where it's the only thing you have on you for some odd reason. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more suggestions for guns I should use or things I should try to hunt or just different suggestions in general for future videos, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But I will see you all in the next video. Peace! If you are new here and you are liking what you see, consider subscribing to the channel and turning notifications on. Also, if you want to help the channel grow, be sure to like the video because this alone can help the video and my channel do better. But that's going to be it for me. Peace, my dudes. I hope you all have a fantastic day.